don't know how to crank the keys up on a damn Chevy truck.
Repeat that. You can build?
I can rebuild a BMW, but I can't crank the keys up on a Chevy truck. I don't understand that.
Yeah, well, I can't rebuild a BMW, but I can crank the keys up on a Chevy truck.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm here.
All right, so what we're gonna do today, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Got my buddy Sam's truck here, and this is 06 Cat Eye, and he just got it, and I told him we were gonna do a video on it. So this will be the first video we do on it. Today we're going to crank the keys on it. So I'm going to show you guys, if you've never done it, how to crank those keys, how much you're going to get out of it, and what kind of results or pros and cons you're going to get out of it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, so what I've done here, and what Sam didn't know, was you need to jack the front of it up first, because if you don't, when you're cranking those keys, you're literally trying to lift the front of the truck up with a bolt.
I mean, it wasn't even going anywhere. Bolt wasn't even turning.
So what I've done here is I've got this under here, and don't run down in the comments and freak out about a jack stand. If the jack fails, it's only going to go down like 3 inches. The truck's lifted 6 inches. It's not going to crush me. So what you got to do is get under here. And this is nice and easy because this is a torsion bar lift. And this is going to be the same for if you're, if you've got factory ride height too, you can be able to do this. You see this bolt here? This is what they call the torsion key. This is the torsion bar. Now, when we tighten this right here, this is going to tighten the bar. It's going to push down on the suspension on the front, and it's going to raise the front of the truck up. So one thing that's important is to make sure that you turn these, make sure they're turned the same. And it looks like that one is a little bit further out than
I haven't touched it,
than this one. So I'm going to measure it and make sure. But when you go to crank them, I like to do it. You can do it in one full turn, but I like to do it in half turns so you get more leverage, and count how many half turns you go. And we'll let it down, see how tall we are. If we want to be higher, we can go higher. But that's pretty much how you start. So I'll tell you what would be a better idea. What if we get a measurement now and then get a measurement after we crank them of how much taller it is?
I mean, I measured it earlier on like the bumper line.
Yeah.
Right here, and it was like 25.5.
Okay, well then that'll work. We'll measure from that after we crank this up. So 25.5 on the bumper line. Nice aluminum drive shaft.
What, you not have an aluminum drive shaft?
I do. That's what I'm saying.
All
right, so how I do it, you got the cross member here. I've got the ratchet wrench lined up with the cross member. So that's 1 half turn, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How far are we going, Sam?
Ignorant.
7.
But I don't want to
8.
break things.
Let's go for 10. 9. 10.
Okay.
That leaves you about 1 inch of bolts, so we're not maxed out. All right, this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alrighty. So now that I've got it cranked up here, you're all set. That's all you got to do under here. So I'll get out from underneath the truck and we'll lower the truck down. Ready? I'm telling you, it's not going to come down very far after I take this jack out.
Yeah. Hey, that's better. It's a lot better.
Okay, well it's definitely higher in the front than the rear now, I can tell you that. All right, so we measured from right here where you see the chrome piece of bumper is, and that's where we got 25.5 inches. We did, see, 10 half turns is 5 turns total on the keys, and we are now sitting at basically 27.25. So we gained almost 2 inches. So
yeah.
1 3/4 inches out of 5 turns. Which, it may settle just a little bit when you drive it. It may go up just a little bit or down just a little bit, but either way, pretty close to 2 inches, and we still have 1 inch of bolt. So we could definitely go higher if we wanted to. But let me show you guys the only downside, or there's a couple downsides to doing that. Now, see, You see this upper control arm here. Now Sam's lucky because the lift kit on here gives him the bigger spindles, which raises this upper control arm back up, so he's not having to worry about it. But for you guys that are running on stock height, this bump stop here is going to be a problem for you. When you raise this truck up, you got to think this control arm is going to flex down, and when that does, it's going to rest on that bump stop. And so when you're going through a big bump or something, you may end up hitting that bump stop, or it may just completely rest on that bump stop. And if that's the case, you're gonna have to turn it down a little bit, cut the bump stop off, or change upper control arm. So a couple different options you can go there. So you'll just have to play with your truck and see what ends up coming of it. The other thing is, of course, the CV axles. The angle is obviously going to be increased, which could lead to the boots tearing and eventually the CV axle breaking. And of course, it's going to put extra stress on all the components, but that's not what we're worried about. No. We're trying to send it. We want the look. Yeah, but I felt like, you know, I needed to tell them what they're getting themselves into. But you guys know on my truck, my keys are cranked pretty close to how we just did Sam's here. I mean, because I've got the 4-inch lift with the leveling keys in it. So mine's up a good bit more than a regular 4-inch is. Now we have a 6-inch kit here with crank keys. And what size are these tires? Okay, so they're 33s. God, look at all that gap though for a 33. You'd have no problem fitting 35s on a 12 wide for sure. Just like I'm doing. So,
or 14 wides. I mean.
Oh yeah, definitely. So we'll get some more videos to come on this truck, but I just wanted to make this quick video here because I know a bunch of people. I've gotten DMs before in all the past 2 years that I've been doing YouTube about cranking them up, pros and cons, and how you do it or whatever. So it's really easy. Like I said, just get you a jack, get you I think it's an 18mm socket, and get under there, jack it up, and lift the truck up for free. And of course, it doesn't lift the rear up. You have to get lift blocks if you want to bring the rear up. But pretty easy if you just want to get that get the lean or Carolina squat or whatever the people call it nowadays, that I don't really care for, but oh well. So I appreciate you guys watching. Drop any comments you got down below. Follow me over on Instagram at Austin04_Z71. All right, and I'm gonna put Sam's down in the description below so you can go follow the truck build. Yeah, but yeah, well now that the weather's turning, you can actually do stuff to it. So thanks again for watching. Take care. Have a great day.